When I first saw people saying Mike Vrabel absolutely ripped A.J. Brown at Patriots practice, I thought this was going to turn into another one of those stories about a coach clashing with his biggest star. But after digging into what actually happened, I honestly came away with a completely different opinion. To me, this wasn't a story about a dropped pass. It was a story about expectations. Here's what happened. During an 11-on-11 period, Drake Maye took a deep shot to A.J. Brown with Christian Gonzalez all over him. Brown tried to make the highlight catch with one hand, couldn't secure it, and the pass fell incomplete. Later, during the team meeting, Vrabel called him out in front of everyone. Now, I completely understand why that headline grabbed people's attention. Anytime you hear a coach publicly getting after a player who just arrived in a blockbuster trade, fans immediately start wondering if there's already tension inside the building. Personally, I don't think that's what this is. In fact, I think the opposite is true. The Patriots didn't give up a future first-round pick because they wanted spectacular catches in July. They made that trade because they believe A.J. Brown is supposed to become Drake Maye's most dependable target when games actually matter. And that's exactly why I think Vrabel reacted the way he did. If you're going to hold everyone accountable, you have to start with your best players. Otherwise, that message dies the moment the locker room realizes stars play by different rules. What really stood out to me wasn't Vrabel yelling. It was Brown's response afterward. Brown admitted that years ago when he was a rookie playing for Vrabel in Tennessee, he probably wouldn't have handled that kind of criticism very well. Now, he basically said he understood it. He expects himself to make that catch just as much as Vrabel expects him to make it. To me, that's a really important detail because it tells me this wasn't about embarrassment. It was about standards. And honestly, I think that's exactly what this Patriots team needs. After coming so close to winning a Super Bowl, this roster isn't trying to prove it's talented enough. They're trying to eliminate the small mistakes that decide championship games. That's also why I'm not going to overreact to one incomplete pass in training camp. The bigger question is what happens over the next couple of weeks. Does the chemistry between Drake Maye and A.J. Brown continue to grow? Does Brown start finishing those contested catches consistently? Because if those answers become yes, nobody is going to remember this meeting. They're going to remember it as one of the first moments Mike Vrabel made it clear that nobody, not even the biggest star on the roster, is above the standard. And honestly, I think that's exactly the culture New England has been trying to rebuild. But I'm curious where you stand. If you were Mike Vrabel, would you call out your biggest receiver in front of the entire team, or would you handle that conversation behind closed doors?